Hey guys, thank you so much for watching and welcome to today's Tuesday live stream. The topic for today is going to be things I did over the weekend to increase my income, entrepreneur steps that I took over the weekend. Because this was the long weekend, this was July 4th, holiday weekend, and had set out some pretty ambitious goals for myself, and I was actually quite pleased that I managed to do all of the things that I had set out for myself to do. So that is what I'm going to fill you guys in on. I know coming back after the long holiday weekend, it's always kind of a bit of an adjustment, right? Because it feels like everything's off by a day. So today's really Tuesday, but it feels like a Monday. I'm just putting on my sunscreen. I just took a shower because I had been running all morning, and that was a good thing because I do have a top on, I promise. Because I got a lot done, which was great. On the other hand, I feel like there are always more things that can be done, right? Always. So, of course, I got the work going on one side. We're actually launching a new website. Launching updates to a website for a client. That's always got its own sort of set of challenges. Hello to everyone that is joining now. How was your weekend? How did you do this long holiday weekend in the US? Did you do anything fun? And how'd you do on your business and financial goals? So I mentioned, hey, Ferga. Oh, yes, I saw your story, Ferga, about 007 Roger Moore. Very exciting. I actually haven't seen any of the Bond movies. Casino Royale was the first that I saw with Daniel Craig. So, and I love that one. So I don't have a huge frame of reference, but that was so exciting. Very, very cool. So that was fun. Everyone, Fruga met Roger Moore. So I am still recovering from the weekend. I definitely still feel like I'm recovering. I had makeup on at 6 this morning, and then I washed it off because I was showered. So excuse this get ready with me video as well. So what I did over the weekend, my 3 goals were to, number 1, get more on it with my accounting. That was accomplished, and I feel so good about that because I was able to get my QuickBooks set up for this business, Well Behaved Wallet, which at the moment is making the most money and the most money passively. And it's not a lot of money at all, but I would like to grow this business and right now to be setting in place the infrastructure to be able to grow this business. So that's exciting. And all that was connecting my QuickBooks account to my Novo online checking account. I do not have a link for them yet, an affiliate link. I am looking forward to get that. Yes, so that is, so Novo link coming soon because I love them a lot. So that was the first thing I did, and that was huge. It was such a small thing to log into my Novo account through QuickBooks, and it kind of, I had to like trust them both, right? But once I did it, I was like, oh, I can't believe I haven't done this before. It was so simple. It took like 5 minutes, and it allowed me to see profit and loss right away, which is always helpful in a business to know how much you're making and how much you've spent, as well as estimating your quarterly tax earnings. So that was hugely helpful. That was the first thing I did. It took me 5 minutes. So glad that I did it. The second 2 things, the items 2 and 3, were to come up with a big picture business plan and also to create more, have a content plan for actually both of my businesses, this Well Behaved Wallet and my e-commerce business, which at the moment is not doing very much. But I did just get a sale on eBay, so that's exciting and will kind of encourage me in the right direction. So I spent some time this weekend kind of thinking about what I want my businesses to look like, but it was kind of a little bit frustrating because I almost had I did have trouble with that. I had trouble thinking about what I wanted my businesses to look like because I just felt like there were so many options and it felt a little bit overwhelming, which is something that I talk about a lot recently because I feel like there are just so many different directions to take that it's challenging to just take one. So I end up taking none, and that is not the right move, not to take any direction, not to take any steps. So, I mean, I did all this research on how to build a marketing plan, how to build a business plan, a growth focused business plan, and all of that. But ultimately, it's like, what are the things that make me money? Making videos and listing items. Those are the two things that make me, and listing shipping items. So just do more of those and do them smarter and faster and better. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's what we got. So that is my goal for the businesses. And that's what I'm up to doing. So I'm actually really proud that I did get some content created for this channel after a while. It's been a long time since I've posted a decent sit down video, and that is coming out, uploaded, ready to go, coming out at 3 p.m. Eastern today. I'm very excited. So you guys on the live stream crew have already heard the news. So this is old news for you. It's just kind of an announcement update video. So very excited to share that publicly. And I didn't think I was going to share and make an announcement publicly, but what changed my mind is I'm going to be budgeting for baby expenses, etc. And I want to be able to share that and kind of have an official, like, this is what's going on kind of intro. Because at this point, it's like not even barring anything unforeseen, there will be a baby very soon. So, all right, that's exciting. And it's also encouraging me to kind of get on it as far as actually buying some of those things I do need for baby. And I'm like, what do I really need? Pack of diapers, pack of wipes, a bottle. I'm like, and if I can't breastfeed formula, I don't plan to not breastfeed. I plan to breastfeed, but you never know. I want to be prepared. I know it can be very challenging. My mother had no problems whatsoever, and she reminds me of that all the time. My sister and I. So I don't know. Not that much. I don't need that much for the baby. So that's where that is. So something else I've been doing as well is, so those are the three things. Sorry, let me go back. Those are the three things that I did as far as my business went. Actually made some content, connected my accounting software all together with my business accounts, and then did some kind of thinking about long-term plans, more challenging than I thought. So another thing that both me and my husband did together, we'd rented a car that had some more trunk space, so we took some things from his co-op to the storage unit, which was good to kind of free up some space because it's going to get tight. I don't know. So we're in 765 square foot condo at the moment. And I'm like, a baby's how many square feet? So, and if anything, it's like we save on needing a baby monitor. We don't really need one because the baby's going to be right there. So that's good. And taking advantage of being in the city for the holiday, we actually went and saw the fireworks over the East River, which is something neither one of us had done before. So that was a lot of fun. Exhausting, so exhausting. Because there were so many people, and we took public transit to kind of save some money because we ordered delivery. I'm like, we have to save some money somewhere. So we took public transit where it cost us $5.50 to take the bus, whereas we could have paid an extra $5 for a cab and been home half an hour earlier. So it's that whole trade-off mentality. Anyway, and I realize I haven't been doing timestamps, and I would like to do that because I know if I were watching these back, timestamps would be helpful. So let me get on the timestamps real quick. Okay. So that was something else that we did over the weekend. So say 9. That was what we did over the long weekend. Was take stuff to the storage unit. We actually went for a long bike ride. We picked up bikes. He has 2 really nice bikes in the storage unit. So we picked them up and went for a long bike ride along a river, which was gorgeous and so much fun. It had been a long time, probably about 3 years since we've done that. It was a lot of fun. I think the last time we rode was with each other. So that was a lot of fun. And we have the bikes sitting here, and he's going to go store them in the building storage unit, which he's paying for. So that was a great thing that we did. And then yesterday we went and saw the fireworks. So I did feel like I got a lot of stuff done over the weekend, which was satisfying. I also always feel like there is more to do. So along the lines, more to do. So things that I would like to do, or I'll back it up and say things that I have been doing, which have been exciting, is that I have been getting up earlier. So I started doing this at the end of June, and my goal was just to get up 2 hours earlier than I needed to be awake, so I had that time to adjust into my day. And I found that if I just got up that 2 hours earlier, then that would just kind of get me into the right headset that I wanted to be in. So I'm trying to move it back even further, because I naturally kind of, my body wakes me up at that time, and it's just a matter of getting out of bed and getting moving at that time. And the way that I structure my time is kind of based around Casey Neistat's morning routine that he shared, and then Jocko Willink, the Navy SEAL guy. Also, I mean, a lot of people, it's hard to find someone who's productive that doesn't advocate waking up in the morning earlier. But as far as how you structure your time, like, do you work out first? Or do you get some work done? And I just find that if it's between working out or working, I would try to work first because that's when my brain is working the most. And then when it comes to working out, I can just kind of set myself on autopilot and go like walk on the treadmill for 30 minutes, which is what I did today. So that has been extremely effective. And I aim to do that, to keep doing that as long as I possibly can. That's the goal. So, and I think that will help me be more productive. I know that'll help me be more productive. It's just how long I can continue it because I'm working on like 4 hours sleep and I'm exhausted. That's just how it goes. I mean, this is going to be story of life. And I just have to say that, and probably nobody on the stream was thinking that, but when people say, "Oh, you better sleep now because once the baby gets here, you're not going to sleep at all," the single most frustrating thing. And I remember my family said that to me, and I was like, "Okay." Because sleep doesn't work that way. Like we all know sleep doesn't work that way. You can't bank it. You can't put it in the bank. It's just you just life comes. So the correct response, in my opinion, what I would say to someone who is like, "Oh, I'm really tired," is, "Gosh, I'm sorry, that sucks." Oh, anyway, that's what's been going on lately. So I'm feeling it. I'm for sure feeling the tired, but also feeling the progress. At least I'm doing things that will cause progress. I mean, we plan plans, not results. That's something that I've learned, and there's really all you can do is what you can do. You can't plan the results. You can just tweak your outcomes or tweak your process. So that's where it is for the moment. It's plans, not results. Yeah, so I guess I will say, I'll pause for a minute, say hello to those of you who are watching live, and check in again once more. I hope you guys are all well. How are you doing on your goals? Are you moving forward? How are you moving forward? What steps have you been taking? So, coming back to those 3 activities that I took over the weekend, the 3 things that I did for my business, and building on that momentum is kind of what I aim to do for the rest of the week, just like working in week-long increments. So I'm really excited. Oh, hello, Daryl. So glad. I'm glad I'm making progress too. Baby steps, Daryl, is what it's all about for sure. So let me actually share a fail for today. And this is just something that will take time and adjustment. So yesterday on the holiday, we were just having a chill, slow day at home, and I had made breakfast, and we're thinking about what we wanted for lunch and dinner because I like to plan ahead. And I was like, I kind of feel like meatballs. My husband's like, yeah, that would be good. I was like, we just ordered from Francesco's, which is a local pizza place by us that is amazing, like a local, reliable neighborhood pizza joint that's always good, always fast on time. Delivery is just delicious and good. So then we thought that it would be nice if since meatballs were delicious, we were maybe thinking of getting just like meatballs. So we ordered from a local meatball shop, which for me, because I'm kind of taking on more of the responsibility for food and household as he pays the rent or pays the mortgage. We placed an order for delivery from a meatball place. It was $115. And I was talking to myself, I just felt awful. And it was fine. Like it was okay food. I had this thought, oh, I could just go to the grocery store and make meatballs, right? Because I know how to do that. It would have taken from start to finish about 2 to 3 hours, and that would have been our whole evening or our whole afternoon as it was. We took some time. We watched Stranger Things. We took naps. So we kind of outsourced the food, and that would have taken 3 hours, and it would have been a lot of hassle. And I know that at the end of it, I would have been exhausted and thought, hey, what would it have been like if we had spent that $115 on delivery? Spent that $115 on delivery. It was not worth it, in my opinion. So that was a big money fail. So trying to make up for that with taking public transit for the fireworks. And yes, this is something that I know will happen again and again. And there are certainly ways you can plan around it. For example, today I am defrosting frozen chicken thighs that I had in the freezer. And that's something I do, I would say, 80% of the time I will cook. Replying to a work email right now. Oh gosh, sorry guys. It's a whole other issue with a work client and project. So, as far as a fail, and I know that food is going to be number one. That's the big 3: food, travel, or food, transit, and housing are the big 3 for many people. So I know that will continue to be more of a challenge, and the more on top of it I can get, the better. So that's another item on my list of things to do, is to make some freezer meals. Here's the thing with freezer meals. I have done that before, and I have found that the effort does not necessarily always equal the return. And that pisses me off because time is becoming increasingly one of my more valuable resources. And clearly, you don't want to go further into debt. Yeah. Oh, Daryl, progress, not perfection. I hear you, man. So here was my thing with the program you mentioned joining, and that was I have a video on that program. Um, and I am a huge believer and advocate of 12-step programs. This is weird. I got a really wild comment about on that video. Kind of weird, and I think the person was probably going through something, so I tried to be very kind in my response. But as far as getting out of consumer debt, for me, and I'm guessing maybe for you, do what works, right? Do what you feel in your spirit works. Um, for me, it wasn't necessarily a problem with debting and spending. It was pretty situational. And once I was able to kind of take a step back and get out of that situation, when it came to this was to do with my job that I was in that I should have left earlier. Hello, Anthony, you frame of mind. So glad you are here, Tad. Happy to see you. So, when it comes to credit card spending, for me, it's a huge mental shift. And it will happen. It will just happen slowly, I think, is the I say happen slowly. It's going to take a huge change. And it's going from a mindset of I want this thing, I deserve this thing, I need this thing, to a mindset of my freedom is more important. And that, again, I returned to that. It took about 2 years to 3 years, actually. I would say the first year was a transition year of coming out of it. And I couldn't stop using my credit card at first because I just didn't have enough money to cover like my basic living expenses. And if I had to do it over again, I would tell myself, you know what? It's okay. Don't stress about it. Just survive and know that you are moving toward a place of not needing your credit card anymore. And I was there within 6 months, I was there. So for me, I know this is another situational situation. I mean, that's just what it is. It's a lot of life events all at once. So that is something that I am actively adjusting to and will change. And I am working on it every day, getting after it every day. And what's frustrating, I think, is that it's slow to see the return that I'm looking for as far as the action that I'm putting in and what I would like to see. And I'm sitting here like, that's just going to take time. And for me, it's just being patient and not getting discouraged. So, anyone else who's dealing with credit card debt, that's the message, right? Patience, progress, not perfection, for sure. Um, yes, Sylvia, for sure. You feel the same way about credit card debt. The rationalizing was diminished once you became mindful. And I feel like mindfulness. I know I overuse the word mindfulness, but it's very true. And it's for me, it's being aware of what I'm doing and not, um, I say not being on autopilot, but also from what I know about myself, because that's the advantage to being older. I mean, disadvantages, you have a little less energy, you have a shorter time toward a time when you don't want to work anymore. And so those are kind of the biggest disadvantages. But a big advantage to being a little bit older is that I feel like I do know myself a little bit more. So that's a huge advantage to being older, is I have um, the benefit of my own track record, for better or for worse, and I know how I've responded in certain situations and what's worth it and what's not worth it. So when it comes to being aware of my spending, I know, again, what spending ends up being worth it in the long run and what is not worth it at all. So that's just something to be aware of. Like, okay. Like already this month, I've spent a lot just on food. And food is the kind of thing where it's, yes, that is a good idea. Forgot to leave your credit card at home. Um, very much. So food is a kind of thing where if you try to cut back, you really feel it, and it really, I've found that I feel it, and it's unpleasant. So planning ahead can make a big difference for me in food, where I say it's not what I feel like, but this is what we're having, feel like it. So I think that's kind of more the idea that I'm going to get into um, right now. It's kind of, that's where it is, guys. We are, oh, we're making it work. We're taking baby steps for sure. I spent $293 on food so far this month, and we're only 5 days in. I'm like, great, that's a lot of money on food. I've only spent $31 on groceries, so there's a clue right there. Let me tell you what it was on for some real truth talk here. Anyone's curious. But again, I know this is not, I know that I'm not alone in this. Yeah, that's why. So I had a doctor's appointment in New Jersey, and so we went out to the diner for after the doctor's appointment. Then we got barbecue. Then we got food after the bike ride, and then we got that takeout yesterday. Yes, Sylvia, so true. Yes, absolutely. Instead of replacing things, you use duct tape first. Not ashamed. Absolutely with you. So I think right now my plan to be more aware of my spending and in the rest of the month and the upcoming months is to really focus in on food and decide what I'm doing first and then not bring feelings into it. Not like what do I feel like doing, but this is what I'm doing and that's it. So that's the takeaway so far, I think, as far as getting in a better place financially. So that's where that is for today. Oh, guys. No. So again, I have my chicken thighs defrosting in the fridge. I'm gonna find a recipe to make with chicken thighs. I have some salsa. I think I might put the salsa over them and just kind of bake them in the oven. I think that might be a good plan. With a lot of butter. We'll see how that goes. I also have some asparagus that I could make, so I don't have to go out and spend any money, which would be good. So that's the plan. Yeah, I'm exhausted. It was a long weekend, but a good one. A lot of fun. So there's that. All right, guys, I am going to close the stream, but that's what's moving and shaking on this Tuesday afternoon after the holiday weekend. So again, hope you guys had a good holiday weekend, and I hope that you will have a good rest of your day and tomorrow. All right, take care. Hope to connect with you soon. Bye.